Well, hello there. Welcome back to RJBTV, where I will now continue on with a best of 5 set that I was doing, like I was in the middle of it, but then I got replays from 458, which included a Brain against 458 epic best of 5, which you can find on the channel, of course, which is, to my knowledge, the only best of 5 between 458 and Brain in the last couple of years, in the last 2 or 3 years. It's the only set they played, and you can find it on the channel. It's a couple of days old at this point, and it is, in my opinion, one of the most amazing sets of micro and skill so far. But now back to this match that we're looking at right now. Byul against Gangnamlife. A fastest map veteran, Gangnamlife invented most of the build orders that Protoss uses, or Terrans use, or Zergs use in the Korean fastest map 1 versus 1 community. This guy is the innovator, he is the OG, he is one of the first. And his opponent here on the name Barcode is Byul, who is a former semi-professional StarCraft player who has played in not 1 but in 2 ASL seasons, which is pretty nuts. It puts him very high up on the skill rankings worldwide, because the ASL is the highest level of fastest map competition in the entire world. And this guy right here on the Zerg, that's him. The score so far, because this is a continuation of a set that I was previously casting, is 2 wins for Byul here. So Byul has managed to win both games that came before this, and both those games were about 40 minutes long. They were epic battles, back and forths, both players pushing themselves to the limits, and also gambling a little bit with their economies, because they were intentionally playing on small worker accounts and just praying to the gods that they would overpower their opponent before the opponent overpowered them. And both times it worked out in Byul's favor. Gangnamlife just ran out of money faster than Byul did. But this time around, things might go a little bit differently, because we already have a rushing attempt here from Gangnamlife. Zelda there making its way into the base. And it looks like Byul has 6 Zerglings, 4 finished up, 2 more on the way. Well, 4 more on the way, actually. Zelda there doing some great microing. Micros all the way around the probe. The probe goes down there, though, but he did a whole lot of damage to those Zerglings. And that's what matters, because we got more Zelda here on the middle, waiting to go in once the group grows in size. Gangnamlife tries to get closer to the drones, but can't get on top of those. So let's see where I have the location hotkeys set to. So now I can hop back and forth between both locations. We have a robotics already on the way from Gangnamlife, which is very, very, very early into the game. It takes about, I think, 38 seconds for it to finish. I think it's about 30 or 52 seconds, not entirely sure, but it's going to finish up very soon. Cybercore already finished up, of course. We also have another pylon there on the way. Zealous there breaking through the front door, because Byul didn't think about building more Sunkens, although he was in the process of building more Sunkens. But he sent all of his Zerglings out over the map to scout the map, but that means the Zerglings are no longer there to protect the choke. So now it's only a couple of Sunkens against a bunch of Zealots, and the Zealots do kind of only kill 2 Sunkens and pretty much lose the entire army there. So it's not a whole lot of damage. The 2 Zealots, though, do get into the base, and they do still have some HP there on them. But now more Zerglings have spawned, and this is actually kind of bad for both players in a way. For Byul, this is particularly bad because he needs gas, and he needs more drones, and he probably needs Hydralisks, because right here in Gangnamlife's base, we do have a support bay finish up, and it's still there in production, and the Citadel of Doom on the way. Byul has scouted it here, though, with the Overlord. So, yeah, I think Byul at this point has 2 choices. Either try to get Hydralisks as fast as he can, because he needs something to kill the Reaver and the Shuttle. Zerglings and Sunkens are not gonna kill a Reaver in a Shuttle. They're just not gonna do it. So he's getting gas as fast as he can. But his drone count is kind of low for this point in the game. He wants to actually be a little bit higher. But that's because he had to spend a lot of minerals on Zerglings. Twice. Not once, but twice. He had to build a lot of Zerglings. And all those Zerglings could have been drones instead of Zerglings. And now those Zerglings are right here standing there. And they're not really functional, because they are not going to be able to fight against anything that's going to be attacking him soon. We do have the Zealots here, though, in the front. We do have Zealot speed on the way. So there's actually a case that could be made here that Gangnamlife is not going to go for a Reaver drop, but he might actually try to go for a frontal push, which also, honestly, is a pretty awesome idea. But I think in this scenario, just going straight for the backside, straight for those drones here, would probably be a better choice. But I have a feeling he's going to try to just walk and break through that front door with Scarab Zealot. So Reaver arrives. He exposes the fact that the Reaver is finished up. Zerglings there standing in the back waiting for the Zealots to strike. This actually gives Byul just enough time to produce about 10 Hydralisks to defend himself with. So I'm not sure if this was the best choice Gangnamlife had, but this is the choice he went for. Sometimes, because like we have more information than both players have, so sometimes as a player you make suboptimal choices because you simply do not have the information that we have as observers. So as observers we can like make better choices because we know more. Whereas as a player, you're kind of left guessing what your opponent is doing sometimes. The Reaver, though, is making progress, but Hydralisks are coming in, picks up the Reaver there, though. Reaver escapes. There's a lot of Zealot there in the middle, and the Zealots are immediately going for the attack. The Hydralisks have showed themselves, so it's time to go. The speed is finished up there for the Zealots. The Reaver there in the back, providing additional support with them Scarabses. The Zerglings and Hydralisks are doing a pretty good job of providing extra damage, and also blocking the Zealots from going in much deeper. So actually, it looks like Byul is going to defend himself. Not by much, it's going to be by a tiny little bit. Because do look, the Hydralisks are forced to micro backwards. The Sunken is morphing in the front. Reaver there is still alive in the back. He barely makes it out because Gangnamlife wants to move the shuttle back a little bit so that the new Zealots arriving are going to do a great job of dealing damage. The shuttle there under attack, Reaver under attack, picks it up. Force them. Oh, the control here from both players is actually really good. Okay, the Reaver in the end does go down, only gets one more additional Hydralisk kill. The Hydralisk micro from Byul is really good. More Zealots keep streaming from across the map. Some 35 probes, not a lot of probes, but it's more than Byul has drones. So the fight here is going really well for Gangnamlife. He killed the choke, which was his ultimate purpose, killing the choke. We have Byul here on triple hatchery in the back, one in the front. The one in the front is probably gonna go down once more Zealot reinforcements arrive. We have Singularity Charge and Shuttle Speed on the way there for Gangnamlife, and another Reaver has finished up. I think, really quick, look real quick. 2 shuttles, 1 Reaver, 1 more Reaver is on the way. So back here in in Byul's choke, not Gangnamlife's choke, in Byul's choke. Gangnamlife is pushing Byul to the limits, and he just dropped him. I'm really blind, but he just dropped him. He just dropped. Let me just rewind that real quick. Let me just rewind that real quick because the game at this point is pretty much over. I'm really blind. So let's find the shuttle. Shuttle comes in. There's a Reaver inside. Reaver unloads. Reaver shoots. Its load kills a lot of drones. He had 25, now down to 11. Shuttle there gets taken down by the Hydralisk there, though. The Reaver was already dead and gone. And at this point, it pretty much is already a done deal. Gangnamlife can no longer lose the game. Hitting the drones there was all he had to do to win. Byul was so focused on microing against that overpowering Zealot force that he slipped up and missed a shuttle flying over these overlords straight for his drone. You have another shuttle there on the bottom corner, ready to strike, ready to go. Zealots are coming through the front door. The Sunkens are still alive in the front. The Hydralisk might still provide enough support there to keep the front alive, but the shuttle comes in. Shuttle comes in here over the right side. Hydralisks are moving, but the Hydralisks are too slow. Shuttle is too fast with a speedy shuttle upgrade. Reaver unloads, Reaver arrives. Reaver has nothing to kill there though, but he's gonna keep on flying around. Keep on flying around and hunt for those drones. Meanwhile, the front here, because the Hydralisk had to move to the back to protect the drones, the choke is pretty much gone, and I think at this point, Byul knows that there's no way he can make a comeback here. So Gangnamlife with a very, very strong single Nexus build order, more or less completely obliterates Byul with some pretty damn good movements, which continuously forces Byul to spend his minerals on things that stop him from growing bigger. He only has 4 hashers in total, 1 in the front, 3 in the back. Went for double Hydralisk then, because he felt he needed speed and range both at the same time. Might have been a little bit too expensive, but it worked out in the sense that he could and was able to defend against those waves of Zealots coming through the front door with speed. Do they have level 1 attack? I don't think they do. No, it's just speed Zealots with no upgrades. Can show how overpowering good production and good micro can be if you combine it with 1 Reaver Mist Shuttle. In the end, Gangnamlife's build order works out perfectly fine with a continuous non-stop offensive from Gangnamlife that gets him 1 more win on the board, which is what he wanted. He wanted 1 more win. 1 more win, because you don't want to lose a set without a single win. You at least want to have 1 in there, maybe 2. Of course, the ideal scenario is not losing a set and winning it. But now we're going to game number 4. Byul, once again, squaring off against Gangnamlife, scores 2 wins for Byul, 1 win for Gangnamlife. The races will reveal themselves. It's Protoss here for Gangnamlife. And then on the bottom corner of the map, we have... Wait. Gangnamlife's on the bottom corner. My bad. Bottom corner, Gangnamlife. And the top middle of the map, it is Byul on the 12 o'clock spawn location on his very best race, Terran. As a semi-professional, he was a Terran player. And as I said before, 2-time ASL qualifier, which makes him one of the best Terrans in the entire world on the normal maps, which of course, as a Terran, your normal map skills translate really, really well to fastest map. You kind of have the same playstyle, you use the same units, you have the same strategies. The only thing that really changes is you really need to protect your workers really, really well. And Byul is pretty damn good at keeping those SCVs alive. He's pretty damn good at it. His map awareness is exceptional. Let's just put it like that. His map awareness is exceptional. Gangnamlife goes for Nexus first, and Byul goes for Barracks, Supply, Barracks, which is going to allow him to rush Gangnamlife if he finds Gangnamlife right next to him. But given that Gangnamlife is on the other side of the map, it is very unlikely that Byul is going to be capable of rushing Gangnamlife before Gangnamlife has cannons up in his choke. The chances exist, I've seen it happen, but the chance is very, very slim. A small chance, but a chance we have to keep in mind nonetheless. So by pure coincidence, this is kind of funny. Both players find each other's workers, and Byul is assuming that maybe Gangnamlife is here on the 3 o'clock spawn location. He assumed wrong, but Gangnamlife immediately correctly assumes that Byul is on the 12 o'clock spawn location. But the 2 Marines are getting distracted by the probe, so the 2 Marines are never going to arrive here in the front in time. Had they ignored the probe, 1 Marine could have arrived here in the choke in time to hurt the cannon and maybe set the cannon's HP back so far that Byul could later into the game maybe break through the choke because the cannon would be on half HP. That's not going to happen. Full HP cannon. 2 cannons in fact. Cyber Quarter on the way in the back. Already mining from 2 assimilators with 6 probes. Means they're going to stand at the front to prevent any other units from leaking out. Just contain the shit. Keep them in there. Never gonna let the Protoss get out. I mean, for now. Like until 6 minutes maybe. At 6 minutes he's gonna break free and start the assault. In the meantime, Byul is using this information he's gathering with the SCV, that there's only one Zealot, only one Gateway, and nothing else to be afraid of. He's using the information right there to build double command center, because there's nothing that can attack him, nothing that can harm him. So this is the best time possible to get 2 more command centers, because he simply doesn't need units yet. And he's playing on 2 Gateway and already getting a factory. Maybe he's got an academy on the way. He might maybe add on 3 more barracks. Or maybe he's gonna go for a very fast starport. With the very fast starport, he's gonna make a Wraith. And with a very fast Wraith, he's gonna hunt down the shuttle that Gangnamlife is for sure going to make. Because he's got 2 robos. And when you've got 2 robos, the shuttle will soon be on the way. So support bay should be warping in after the double robo. Well, after 1 robo finishes, support bay of course is required, because you kind of do need the Reavers. You got a Citadel of Doom in the back, Tempest Architect in the front, building a precautionary gateway in the front to make sure that Byul is not gonna stim his way through with Marine and Medic, which is something Byul really likes to do. And Gangnamlife is just making sure that is not going to happen. There we see Byul checking the front to see how many cannons are there. Is there a gateway in front of the cannons? Is there a chance I can stim with my Marines, heal with my medics, and kill the cannons here? Is there a chance? And by moving the SCV there, he can get the information that nope, he cannot break through that choke with Marine Medic. But he's got a tank on the way. No siege mode though. He's not getting siege mode yet. Going for 2 starports, which definitely means he's gonna go for 2 raids to fight against this shuttle. That's the only reason I can see for there being 2 starports. And yeah, it's gonna be 2 raids. 2 raids are on the way there from both starports. Also got siege mode now on the way after the 2 raids. Barrack number 3. No level 1 attack there yet on the engineering bay. He's got no turret there yet in the front. We have a Dark Templar walking across the map, but we also have a double scan here in the back from Byul. He hasn't used the scans yet because he simply didn't need to. That SCV being alive for as long as it was in Gangnamlife's base has allowed him to save up the scan energy. Now he's scanning though. He scanned the base, he scanned the front. Scans the front here in his own base. So first he scans the front here in Gangnamlife's base to see whether the shuttle with the Reavers has already left or if it's still there. Because that's going to give him a time window of whether he should start building turrets on the side or whether he can wait a little bit longer with building those turrets. The shuttle here on the way over the left side. The raids are hanging on the right side. He's expecting a right side shuttle attack. He scans the map once again, scan the choke here, sees 2 shuttles with Templars being loaded up. This drop is definitely going to be coming in over the right side. Gangnamlife absolutely loves doing a double drop. And this shuttle right here, he's putting it into position to fly in over the left side. Luckily for Byul though, he's building turrets on both sides. He's got 4 raids now. 4 raids really do a good job in taking down shuttles. And looks like Gangnamlife is waiting for 2 more shuttles to pick up a couple more Templars and Zealots and go for a 3 or 4 shuttle drop. He doesn't have a Corsair yet. He might wait for the Corsair, he might not wait for the Corsair. I'm not too sure about that one. The 1 attack is on the way and so is Singularity Charge. Shuttle speed is finished up. He already has Templar Storm, so now he's getting Templar Energy, which, when a Templar spawns from a gateway, it will have 62 energy. I'm a little bit too slow with clicking on it, but instead of 50 energy, it has 62.5 energy, and Storm has 75 energy. So that little bit of extra energy allows you to, once a Templar spawns, immediately send the shuttle to the enemy, and by the time it arrives, it will have at least 75 energy, so you can storm. Because there are cases where if you don't have Templar energy upgraded, that your shuttle flies across the map, your Templar unloads, but it has no energy to storm Not yet. Like 70 energy, maybe 69, somewhere in between. And then you just stand there looking, unable to storm those SCVs when you could have won the game if you had waited a little bit longer, or if you had gotten the upgrade. Which goes to show Templar energy upgrade, often overlooked, but very, very important. So drop there are going to come in over the bottom right side of Byul's base. There's no raids here in between, no marines in between. There's nothing at all in between except a couple of turrets that are hardly making this inconvenient. Storms, SCVs are running away pretty far. Templar goes down before it can reach, so it looks like the SCVs are going to stay alive. Storms on the raids there, the Templar is doing a great job. Oh, he storms on the returning SCVs and he kills a couple of them. But 52 SCVs are still alive. Byul has done a great job, and Gangnamlife might have unloaded all of his Templars a little bit too early. If he had just unloaded one of them a little bit further away from where he did, like he unloaded them right here, just one Templar a little bit more in this area, and he could have had a lot more SCV kills, and maybe already be in a position to definitively win the game. Byul now coming across the map. Raids are hunting for the shuttles. He has scanned ahead and saw that there's a pretty good opening, a pretty good open area where cannons cannot protect the shuttles, so he kills the shuttles, and Gangnamlife's drop attack gets shut down before it can even happen. That is one of the few things Byul is exceptionally good at. Very proactive Wraith movement and a lot of scanning, but little does Byul know, a drop is already here on the top left corner of the map, ready to go in, ready to strike. There's a couple of turrets and bunkers in between, but the Wraiths are in the front of the base, so the drop there comes in, allows in the corner. Gonna crawl forward towards the SCVs. SCVs are running away. Doesn't hit any of the SCVs there, though. Hits the pretty good storm there on the Wraiths, but the Wraiths are continuously flying in circles, dodging all the storms and staying alive. Which of course means the Reavers now under attack there by the Wraiths. Tank their sieges up, gonna finish them off. We have all the Templars did their job, morphing into an Archon now as well. Took down about 4 turrets, a bunker and another bunker. And all the SCVs stayed alive, but now a drop already coming out over the right side. Gangnamlife not slowing down. Byul is being put to the test with his awareness. Starts unloading as he's running away. Templar arrives. Templar gets taken down by a target fire stim. Byul there once again. Just exquisite timing and accurate clicking allows him to keep his SCVs alive once again. Once again. Gangnamlife has a pretty good amount of gateways. Now he's producing pretty damn fast because we're 11 minutes in. His minerals keep going just below 1,000. He's spending really well. He's got 74 probes. He's got double nexus. He's got about 7 assimilators. He might go for carriers or he might go for gateway with more drops. That's kind of what I usually see him do. I don't really see him go for carriers that much. Gangnamlife really is a person who believes in a church of shuttle drop with gateway mass attacks. Once again, I'm going to go for a double drop from 2 separate directions, although both drops are going to be coming from the right side. One from the top right comes right in, other one from the bottom right. Byul is focusing on the top right one. He arrives, SCVs are running away. The other drop there comes into exactly the drop path, the dodge path of the others, but he's kind of ignored them. Now there are a lot of zealots here on the scene there, though. Storms on some marines, storms on the Wraiths. The Wraiths once again do stay alive, and the bunkers kill the zealots really, really quick. Now a frontal attack happening here, though. Bunkers in the front once again should keep those zealots away. The zealots are kind of weak, in my opinion, which makes me wonder what are his upgrades. So let me check on his upgrades real quick. No armor, level 1 shield, level 1 weapon. Level 1 armor is on the way, and so is level 2 armor, and now level 2 shield also getting researched. His air is getting attack weapon upgrades. He's got level 1 armor for air, level 1 shield for air. You get level 1 armor for air first, because he wants the shuttles to be a little bit stronger. Because of course, Byul is going to be target firing on the shuttles, so if the shuttles have some armor upgrades, they're going to go down a little bit slower. But here we have Byul once again scanning the entire map and intercepts the shuttles there on the right side, and returns back home with those very sweet, smooth Wraith back and forth dancing micro moves. He's got the funky feet. He's got fancy feet. This guy's got it all. Byul's got the Wraith control. Another drop here though, on the left side. Is it gonna work? Maybe it is time for Gangnamlife to switch over to a frontal mass attack instead of those small frontal attacks. But he really does believe in the art of the shuttle drop, and is it gonna work? I don't know. Byul so far has been doing a really good job in preventing any significant damage from any of those shuttle drops. He's been doing a great job, but this drop here is looking pretty big. I also think it's about time that an observer, I see it right there, an observer arrives to take down those raids, and that's why there's also about 5 or 6 Corsairs to kill the raids, as the raids come in to kill the shuttles. So small army of Zealots there, checked the front. The wall in the front is a little bit too strong, so he decides against attacking it. So he comes in over the bottom left corner. Observer there behind them, but the Observer probably going to die to turrets, so it won't really be of much support there to the raids. Starts unloading his Templar there on the scene. Templar hits a pretty good storm, but pretty much everything stays alive. Unloads on the other side. SVs are there, but SVs are a little bit too far away. Storms on the SVs there though, but only a couple go down. Only a couple go down, and by a couple I literally mean just 2 SCVs went down. So that drop, I like the idea Gangnamlife had. Unloading on the spot where Byul had to just send his SCVs to. But the storm came out a little bit too late, and he decided to storm on the raids. Then the SCVs came back, and he no longer had a double storm, so he only had 1 storm left. Things just aren't working out that well. And the Observer also didn't do a good job of chasing the Corsairs to take down the raids. The raids did go down here. No, they're still alive on the top corner. He's switching over into Valkyries though. Switching over into Valkyries. Got turrets coming up on the side. Got some Observers there as well to provide that detection against the cloak raids. Gangnamlife is clearing out the map, but he's not really building a base. So Gangnamlife got very fixated on attacking with the shuttle drop. It hasn't really been fixated on building a base. So he comes over the front door. Shuttles are taking some damage. Flies straight into Valkyries there though. Starts unloading there right next to the SCVs, but the Templar went down. It unloaded right at the start. But another drop there comes in. This is the real one. This is the one we should all fear. Temples are loading. Temples are too far away from the SCVs there though, because they're already running away. Valkyries are dodging the storm. Starts storming on bunkers. Just storming anything he can. Because it's better to use the storms and have the Templars just die without using them. So the drops there, not really working out. Byul is on fire. He's reacting and responding perfectly. Keeps pulling his SCVs to safety. He's got 5 groups hotkeyed, maybe 4 groups hotkeyed. Not entirely sure on the exact number of workers he's got on hotkeys. I also can't see. Sometimes in a replay you can see what the hotkeys are for a player. In this case, I cannot see. We still have every single kind of upgrade there coming in from Gangnamlife. He's on 1 armor, 2 shield, 2 weapon. For Byul, we have 2 weapon, 2 armor for ground. And the air is on 2-2 as well, so his upgrades are in a very good position. And he's already getting level 3 for both ground and air. He's getting Goliath range as well, getting EMP, making some Goliaths into the mix. We got cannons coming up there on the middle. We have Stargates now on the way for Gangnamlife. A little bit late here though, because we're already at a point in the game where I think Byul is strong enough to leave the safety of his base and go for the attack. But first he wants to wait for the drop. He wants to kill the drop, and after the drop, he's gonna move out. That is my prediction. There's a lot of supply in these 9 shuttles filled up to the brim with units, gateway units, so there's likely about 50 or 60, maybe even 70 supply in these shuttles flying all across the map. I'm gonna fly in from 3 separate locations. This is gonna be the triple drop of the century. Is this one gonna hit, or is it gonna be one of the other drops? The first drop goes in a little bit too early. Drop number 2 goes in a little bit too late, but it's flying in, but it won't really unload because the Valkyrie is already there on the scene. The Templar is there. Templar tries to storm. Templar can't get in range. Templar gets in range. Templar kills pretty much nothing. The drop in the front there is still alive, but the double drop there didn't really achieve what he had in mind. The timing was just a little bit off. If the second drop had gone in a little bit earlier, or the first drop a little bit later, we might have seen Byul lose a significant amount of SCVs, which would have set Gangnamlife up for a very safe late game. He would be able to safely switch into carriers, he would be able to maybe safely go for frontal attacks, because at that point, when you kill the enemy's workers, you can kind of just start spamming attacks. Because your income is greater than the opponent's, and the opponent will not really be able to reproduce or rebuild their army as fast as you can do. Gangnamlife, once again, just gonna kill those tanks on the high ground. Byul feels like he's strong enough to open up the front door and start the attack. Those tanks on the high ground are mostly there for safety precautions, you know? Just something to fall back on when the attack into the middle goes a little bit wrong. You at least have those 2 tanks on the high ground, maybe 4 tanks on the high ground, to defend yourself with. Gangnamlife is still moving across the map to kill buildings that are giving Byul a vision, which of course Gangnamlife doesn't want Byul to have. Byul now, these Marines have been fighting so heroically for Byul, but now they're just getting thrown away. So disrespectful to those Marines. They've been fighting so hard, protecting him. With all they had, with their lives on the line. And what does Byul do? He just throws them away. Just to replace them with some tanks and Valkyries and Goliaths. Oh, the life of a Marine on StarCraft is a difficult one. There's no respect for you if you're a StarCraft Marine. A sad story indeed. So Gangnamlife slowly building more cannons all over the place. He got... That's a lot of Stargates. It's 1, 2, another 10, and 2 more on the way. So there's about 15 Stargates. He can produce a lot of carriers very quickly, pretty much all the time. It's gonna be 16 Stargates. He has some big plans after he throws away this last little bit of supply, because he's switching over into the carrier army, but he still doesn't have interceptor capacity. He forgot the most important carrier upgrade, interceptor capacity, but now we got a double drop here. Double drop, let's pay attention. A big load of Corsairs flying in over the top left, another one. The Templar arrives, the Templar hits him. The Templar... So out of all the drops that have had complex double drop, triple drop setups, it is the one shuttle with 5 Corsairs that flies in and kills the SCVs. The simplest of all drops that we've been looking at all game. It is the most simple drop that hits him. That just gets me. All those complex and smart setups with intricate micro interactions and executions and requirements, and it's the simplest drop that gets him. I don't know how he does it, but Byul somehow allows it to happen. The downside now though is, for Gangnamlife, Byul has 40 SCVs and 160 army supply. The drop from the right side there though gets taken down, snuffed out there by the Valkyries in the air. They won't let it get through. So Byul, again, paying attention at maximum. Now, tanks rolling about, going across the map. Valkyries in the air, Goliath there to fight against carriers. It also just looks like Byul has been scanning all the time, and he scanned the carriers. So he knows he's got to fight against some air units here. He knows. And how many carriers do we have? I'm trying to click on my mouse pad, but it's not really working out. Let me just move my mouse. Okay, 12 carriers. And we have 7 Corsairs. We have about 4 observers. So rates, not going to be a problem. Valkyries, not going to be a problem. Dark Temples here on the low ground, ready to buy some time. More scans coming out. Byul is scanning all over the place, just wants to know what he can find on the map. Does Byul have proxy bases? Does he not have proxy bases? Yes, he's got a proxy base, but he didn't scan this one. He didn't scan that one. So this is still more or less hidden in secrecy. And now we've got Gangnamlife pushing forward, ready to strike, ready to kill. Corsairs coming in to attack the Valkyries there. First gotta kill the vessels though, because the vessels... I'm not sure what he's attacking with the Corsairs. The Valkyries though are killing the tanks, they're killing the Marines, they're killing everything here on the low ground. He's pushing forward, and Byul is gonna have to retreat because those tanks are toast. More Corsairs there in the back. The Valkyries have defeated the Corsairs in the front. Now more Corsairs coming in to finish them off. And he kills them. Goliaths on the low ground, just, you know, some Goliaths that Byul forgot about. Byul is pulling back into his base. He's got a lot of raids on the way. He's planning on using them raids to kill the carriers. Goliaths are in production as well, about 13 at a time. But it's going to be about 20, maybe 24 Goliaths and about 7 or 14 raids in total. Carriers coming in from the side, ready to attack. Corsairs in the air to kill the raids, of course. The sole purpose of those Corsairs is to kill the raids. And the funny thing is, Byul knows that if you're attacking me with those carriers, you're not going to be able to kill my tanks. So let's just move out with my tanks, move across the map and start the attack. So it's going to be kind of a base race where Gangnamlife is going to try to do more damage to Byul than Byul can do to Gangnamlife with those tanks. And the carriers are coming in over to the right side here, killing all the turrets. Going to go after the armories next and the supply depots as well. Might go for the command center after that one. While the tanks are just kind of rolling through. Tanks are kind of just rolling through. We do have a lot of Dark Templars finishing up here though. So let's look at both bases at the same time. He goes straight for the command center. It is now under attack. Let's keep it highlighted. Dark Temples here back at home are defending against the tanks. He scans the Dark Temples. So Dark Temples are getting wiped out within the blink of an eye. Carriers here still up high in the air. They're taking some damage. They've killed all the raids. Goliaths are target firing on the carrier bodies. The carriers are taking some real damage here. Just letting them hang in the air. He stormed his own probes. He doesn't really have a lot of money left in... Well, he's got a lot of money left in the bank. He's kind of relying on just opening up supply space to have a really big-ass army. He should actually be going after the comsat stations, but he's just letting the carriers hang in the air, killing whatever they want to. Oh wait, he's attacking it? He's not attacking it. Here though, Zealots have spawned. Byul has 4 scans in total, so you can keep scanning those Dark Templars pretty much all game long, but he's starting to feel that his money is starting to run out, so he's pulling his tanks back home. He's pulling his tanks back home. The carriers though, pretty much all burned out. Pretty much all dead and gone. The tanks here are still fighting. He's still using scans. Like, really, if he had just killed the comsat stations, you could have just made Dark Templars and cleared out the entire middle. Byul's supply, though, is dropping a little bit low. We got another 9 carriers on the way there for Gangnamlife. And a load of Zealots in production. This game is looking really, really good for Gangnamlife. Only has 30 probes though, so he might run into similar problems that he ran into in game number 1 and game number 2. Byul just gonna try to kill at least that one cannon that's still there. Doesn't quite succeed, so just get a shot off on the tanks. So we got a big Corsair army here on the scene. Ready to kill more Valkyries, more raids. There's some Valkyries hanging here in Byul's base. He's got Goliaths and tanks spread about as well. About 50 SCVs. He's building a couple more. A couple of them still not working yet, but they're going to be working very soon. He's got a lot of gas in the bank, which is very positive because in theory he can put all of these SCVs from the gas onto the minerals and boost his income by quite a bit. But both players right now at the moment are preparing their armies. Did the replay crash? Did the replay just crash? Oh my god, the replay crashed. Oh, good Christ. They did it? Yeah, it did. So let's just rewind a little bit, because we're missing out on some action. Like, the replay crashed right after Gangnamlife killed that command center. Like, right here. It crashes right here. I was already wondering, why are the carriers just standing there? This doesn't make any sense. This is completely different from what we were watching earlier. So he goes for the command center, kills the command center. What's going to happen next? Is the replay going to crash again? We've got Byul pushing forward into those robotics. We've got Gangnamlife in the air. He's not targeting the... Did it crash again? Come on. Don't be crashing now. Carries in the air. We have some production here from Byul. What is Byul going to do? Is he going to control these? Is he going to control these? Zealots are finishing up, running straight into the tanks. Tanks are getting microed. This is good news. This is very good news. This is looking way different from what we just saw. The tanks are getting microed. Zealots are getting controlled. Looks like the replay is no longer broken, guys. But Byul is out of money. And Byul is dangerously low on money. He's controlling the SCVs. The replay is definitely fixed. I don't know why the replay crashes sometimes, but sometimes it does, and all you gotta do is rewind a little bit, and it fixes itself. So yeah, Byul is broke. He's got no money. He's got nothing that can attack up into the air. He's getting torn apart. Torn to shreds. He's getting obliterated. Completely destroyed. He's pushing further into Gangnamlife's base with the little army he does have. Sieges up in the space he sieged up earlier. Goliaths are there as well, gonna kill that one cannon. The carriers have died. The courses have returned. Byul is not giving up. He's got no money in the bank. No SCVs. Well, he got 18, but it's pretty much nothing at all. Gangnamlife is building a proxy gateway army. Carriers have just finished up. Gonna start building them interceptors. The two carriers are getting fucked in the ass. Look at them go down so quick. They didn't even have time to fight back because they had no interceptors. But now the Zealots there, though, do catch those tanks off guard and kill the tanks. Pushing forward, a flank attack that's happening as well from the proxy base. Goliaths are not well equipped to be fighting against Zealots. A disruption rep there comes down as well, just to throw some colors into the mix. Is he gonna use more disruption webs? Carriers still got their interceptors in production. Are ready to push back whenever they feel like it, whenever they can. Gangnamlife's bank is gotten pretty small as well, but not as small as Byul's bank. And Byul now, yeah, Byul looks pretty dead to me. Byul looks pretty dead to me. He scans the map once more, looking for a proxy base. He cannot find it. Finds it. Finds the gateways. Calls GG. And Gangnamlife is the victor in game numero 4. Very hard-fought battle. Things were kind of going wrong for a very long time there for Gangnamlife. But that one drop, just hitting that one drop, the simplest drop of them all, the dumbest drop of them all, just that one drop getting through, allowed Gangnamlife to secure the victory from the jaws of defeat. And that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it, because this is the last replay. Maybe I messed up with the score that I mentioned earlier. Maybe Gangnamlife won game number 1 or number 2. My memory tells me Byul won game number 1 and 2. But there's only 4 games in this set, so I'm assuming that... I thought it was a best of 5. I thought, you know, I kind of have advanced knowledge that Byul is going to win. But the score is 2 wins for both players, so... Maybe they played a best of 3 and a best of 3. Maybe they never finished their best of 5 because they simply ran out of time. I just don't really know what the structure of this set was. But it was a nice finisher. was a nice finish to this best of whatever set. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe, please do leave a like, and if you want, leave a comment. I read all the comments. I don't always respond to all of them, but most of the times I do, at least give you a smiley or something. Because, I don't know, I just feel like I have to respond to a comment because you bothered to write something in my comment section. I gotta at least respond back, right? Or at least let you know that I've read it. Anyway, I'll be seeing you back on the channel sometime this week. Do have a good week, have a good day, enjoy yourself, and I wish you the very best. I do hope you wish me the very best as well. See you soon.